Okay, so who in here is playing Pokemon Go and you're willing to admit it? Okay, who's got anything like really cool they want to lift up? Like this morning driving here, there was a Venusaur like in the wild. I was like, what? Has anybody got anything really cool? No? Yeah? Okay. Yeah, awesome. All right, cool. Well, let's play together because I still haven't battled yet and I'm like level 8 now. All right, so hi everyone, I'm Adrienne. You can find me on Twitter at AdrienneFriend. I am Django's Director of Advancement. What does that mean? So Django Project has 2 paid contractors, me and Tim Graham. You probably are more familiar with Tim's work. He is the one who makes Django go. Do you know about the Django Software Foundation? The DSF is the nonprofit that's behind Django, that administers Django. We're run by a board of directors, Frank Wiles, Daniela, who organized DjangoCon Europe last year, James Bennett, Karen Tracy, Rebecca Conley is our new secretary, and Christophe is our treasurer. I work really closely with him. And then there are the 2 of us, your Django staff. This is Tim getting your issues. That's actually how he gets them. And me, just the 2 of us. So the DSF is the nonprofit behind Django, and our main focus is the direct support of Django's developers. This means organizing and funding sprints. We often sponsor the sprints at conferences, helping folks attend the sprints. Getting to a conference is expensive, so we provide grants for that. We provide financial assistance to Django girls. We fund the Django Fellowship Program, which is Tim's work. That's Tim trying to make something close to a real developer salary, making Django happen. So here's a little bit of Tim's work at a glance, just based on what I pulled down from our recent posts about his work. He does a lot. Before we contracted with Tim officially about a year ago, as of February, releases just happen when they happen. Tim keeps them on a regular schedule, and he keeps the community updated about what's happening. He's a hugely valuable asset to us. You want some more? You can join the Django developers mailing list and get his weekly updates about what he's working on. In February, he was renewed for another 6 months of funding until September of this year. And he would love to keep going, but we need the funding to make it happen. We also want to keep making a difference for Django girls. In Django Girls Poland last year, we supported them 4 times, and they said that when they approached different local companies about their workshops, the companies didn't really understand why it was important, but the DSF made it possible. So there are some ways you can get involved, and we need you. Yes, you. In this storm, we need you. There are some different ways you can get involved. You can become a corporate member. If your company is built with Django, if you use Django, show support to Django as a corporate member. There are 3 levels of membership, silver, gold, and platinum. There are tons of benefits, including badges that you can put on your website. That's something that the community had been asking for a while, and we made happen. So I just want to give a shout out to some of our current corporate members. There are 3 slides, so take a look. Look and see if you see your company on here. If you don't see your company on these slides, we need to talk. Let's talk. A few more. Few more. Were you up there? Let's talk. All right, now this is something everyone can become. You can become a leadership level donor. This is a big commitment to Django when you think about it. This is giving $1,000 or more per year in a calendar year. You get a logo or a picture on our main fundraising page, which is what everyone goes to, and you get a special badge that you can use wherever you like. So leadership level donations may seem big, but the cool thing is they can be recurring. We make it easy to give on a schedule. So if you give $100 a month to Django for a year, you become a leadership level donor. So why not do that? We have a number of folks in our community who do that. And you can sign up right on our website, making a monthly, quarterly, or yearly donation. We also run special campaigns. Right now, we have a partnership with JetBrains and PyCharm. You can get PyCharm at 30% off, and they're going to make that donation for every purchase that we make, they're going to make a donation to Django. So take care of that I donate to Django. So I want to finish up my lightning talk here with a challenge, a pretty big, audacious challenge. One of those, not one of those. So this is where we're currently standing when I pulled this slide down like an hour ago. We're 34.5% funded. We're at nearly 69,000 donated of our yearly goal of 200,000, and that's composed of 231 donors. I want us to get to 100K. We're more than halfway through the year. Our goal is 200,000. Let's get to 100,000 by the close of sprints on Friday. Let's book these corporate memberships. Let's make our personal commitments to Django. And let's grow that heart to 50% full by the end of this week. And if that sounds a little nutty to you, keep in mind we've done this before. When we launched in January of 2015, in 6 days, this community gave $30,000 in 6 days. So that's what we're doing. Let's make it happen and let's stay in touch. Thanks.
I am the very model of a modern Django model form. I handle any input, even emoji and cuneiform. I can't get data, give me access to an elegant and mature orm, and Rails, pylons, PHP, they look upon me with forlorn. Some criticize the white space in my language with a lot of scorn, but when you are quite used to this, you probably think you are, this is a norm. While building sites, you'll probably end up building lots and lots of views to service all the shopping carts and sometimes even read the news. Your design assets will be safely stored out there in static files. The pretty is completed by the use of some cascading styles. But while I'm out there handling all that emoji and cuneiform, I'm still the very model of a modern Django model form. My models can be entered into any modern database, but really you should use Postgres like anybody with good taste. Atomic transactions can let me handle failures with good grace. I-18N and LT-N and I can run in any place. Auto-escaping by default helps stop with all the egg on face, and future errors are prevented with a sturdy testing base. But nothing can protect you from a DevOps who is feeling smug, who edits in production and then introduces nasty bugs. And that's why all your sites should have a comprehensive monitoring scheme, alerting to activities of hackers who are being mean. Yet still I'm out there handling all that emoji and cuneiform because I am the model of a modern Django model form. Hopefully you can use me any way that you are wanting to, with comprehensive documents to assist when you have no clue, supported by a friendly group of worldwide Django users who gladly volunteer their time for mentoring and helping you. Whether building up migrations, or figuring out a class-based view, or deploying a server on a platform that is very new, I have no doubt that with their help, your lovely brand new site will soar. And if you had enough bugs, you may find yourself joining the Corps. Some people want to dump me and are looking for the next cool thing, yet I am quite excited for the features 1.10 will bring. But still I am quite busy handling emoji and cuneiform because I am the model of a modern Django model form.
Hey, okay, you sensing a theme here? Okay, so my name's Tom Christie. I'm the author of Django REST Framework, and thank you. That's very kind. I want to spend a few minutes talking about the collaborative funding model that we've recently launched. So before I start, can I ask everybody in the room, if you or the company that you work for uses Django REST Framework in some capacity, can you? Oh, wow, okay. And if you or the company that you work for currently funds one of the REST Framework paid plans, can you put your hand up, please? Okay. That's what needs to change. Okay, so here's the good news. Yeah, a few weeks back, I quit my regular employment and started working on REST Framework full-time. The result of this, so far, there's a huge slew of bugs and tickets that have been closed. We've had the 3.4 release out just last week, complete with schema generation, the Python client library for interacting with your APIs, and the command line tool for interacting with your APIs. And this functionality is also going to start to open up a lot of other interesting possibilities as it matures. And there's an absolute huge stack of work that is coming next on top of this as well. So there's going to be hypermedia support coming up. I have plans for real-time support using WebSockets coming up. More mature authentication defaults in REST Framework to help you build more secure APIs. Helping you get into production faster by providing templates that allow you to get your API up and running and in production in next to no time. What else? So client libraries in, hopefully, as we go forward, JavaScript, perhaps Go, Java, Swift, improved tooling for API documentation, as well as monitoring, debugging, all sorts of things that we can work on. I can see, there's at least 2 or 3 person years worth of work that I can already see from here. So, I can't do this without your help. And I think that the core thing that I want to say about this talk is trying to make the business case for funding, whether it's, hopefully, both the Django Fellowship and the REST Framework paid plans. And the key here to me is I think that this is something worthwhile because I think it's in your best interests to do so. Like, this is the pitch I want to make to businesses because it's absolutely clear to, it should be clear to everybody that a well-invested open source ecosystem represents a huge competitive advantage to your companies. Okay, and also, although the collaborative funding model is a kind of new business model and is slightly atypical, I think it's really compelling because look at it this way around. So myself, Adrienne and Tim, we want to work for your companies full-time, and there's one pro and there's one con. The catch is we're only going to work on these open source projects that you use, nothing else. The pro is, per company, you only have to pay us a small fraction of a full-time salary, right? That sounds like a good deal to me. So, if I'm asking for your money, I think it's very important to be transparent about exactly what I'm asking for. I'm looking for about $65,000 a year in order to make this viable. So it's not that's revenue, not salary. So this isn't some huge money spinning scheme, but it is enough to support a viable business, okay? Where we're at the moment, we're starting to get close to the tipping point, right? Getting to the 100% funded level is the thing that will change all of this, and we're starting to get there. So here's the money shot. The corporate plans start at $50 a month, okay? And every single one of those makes a significant difference from my side, okay? Every single one. And I want to make it clear, this is an investment, not a donation, okay? So if your company's considering funding, get in touch with me. I will happily help you talk with your business owner about trying to make the case for funding it. Thank you very much for your time.
My name's Trey. I have a lot of experience with workshops and tutorials and with lightning talks. Until this morning, I had virtually no experience giving a talk longer than 5 minutes and less than 3 hours. So I'm going to share with you some tips that I hope will help inspire you to give your first lightning talk. When thinking up a topic, remember that you want to deliver value to your audience. So that can mean reviewing a familiar concept. It can mean teaching folks a new skill. You could shed light on a topic that's a little new or unfamiliar. You could also entertain people with a fun story. You can talk really broadly about a topic or just barely introduce it. You could dive into a topic that's really niche that only a handful of the people in your audience know about. That's okay. When you make a lightning talk, use an outline. Make a bulleted list of points that you'll cover and hone that list down to something that fits in 5 minutes. The first thing you want to do is set expectations. If there's background information necessary, review it or state that it's needed so that people know whether or not they're in your target audience. You only need one takeaway for a 5-minute lightning talk. The fewer the takeaways, the better, and don't be afraid to cut things out because you can always elaborate more later. Keep it simple. Limit the number of variables to decrease the likelihood that things could go wrong. For your first lightning talk, use slides. Don't use too many slides, and don't try a live demo. Live demos are really hard to pull off, so don't even try the first time you do a lightning talk. You can always show demos to people after the talk. When showing code blocks, make sure people can read the code on a projector in a well-lit room. Use dark text on a light background. Don't use white text on a black background. That looks cool on your computer when you're coding late at night. It's kind of hard to read on a projector based on the way projector technology kind of works. Also make your font size big so that people can read it in the back of the room. And make sure not to put too much stuff on each slide. Write speaker notes. Edit and re-edit those speaker notes and script your talk as much as you can. You may or may not have noticed it, but I am entirely reading off of my speaker notes, and that's pretty much what I was doing this morning when I gave my talk as well. There is no shame in scripting your talk. It's nice to have your speaker notes memorized, but it's not essential. Performances are fun, and performances are scripted. Ideally, remove non-essential parts that you notice while rehearsing. In the worst-case scenario, if you have like 80% of your talk left and 30 seconds to go, what is that 10-second takeaway phrase that you can deliver before you say thank you very much? When you get to towards that 5-minute time limit, make sure to panic. Sorry. Don't panic. If you're ending too soon, give people your 10-second pitch and move to questions or end it right there. After your talk is over, take a deep breath and congratulate yourself. If you are an introvert like I am, you just broke the ice. You gave everyone else something to talk to you about afterwards, a reason to find you somewhere else at the conference and introduce themselves to you. That's it.
Cool. So my talk's on grass. How do I? There we go. Okay, so how many of you frequented the site by video? Can y'all hear me? Fantastic. Yeah, great. If you frequented it in the past 6 months, you probably saw that it's going down. The people that were running that, Will and Sheila, they're just getting tired. They want to move on. And there was a bunch of people that stepped up to say, hey, let's keep this thing going. It's great. Personally, it's where I learned a lot of awesome things about Python and did studying on my own while I was working out or doing the dishes or whatever chores I had. So I ended up being the only person left after a lot of people said, hey, we can help out. I ended up being the only person left that had built a site in time for PyCon. Now we have, while I was at PyCon, I got a bunch of people together to continue work on that project. It's not built in Django, sorry. Built in Pelican, a static site generator, but it is hosted on GitHub, which makes it super lightweight, super cheap to run. And what I'm here to do is to tell you that, one, it exists. We're always looking for help. We are moving really fast and getting new talks out onto PyTube. SciPy is already up. SciPy ended a few days ago. It's already up for your viewing pleasure. And If you have any questions or want to talk about contributing back, feel free to Twitter me at Paul Logston, or just come up to me and talk to me during the conference. Thanks.
All right, if I was better prepared and not quite this busy, I would have probably done slides, but we're going to make do with what we can here. So, who here has heard of ENIAC? All right, awesome. ENIAC was the first electronic computer in the world, and it was made right here on Penn's campus, and there are parts of it 4 blocks away from here. So if you came all this way and you're a geek, don't leave without seeing ENIAC. So here are a couple things. ENIAC, all the original programmers of ENIAC were women. Men considered it beneath them. But not only was the first programming language ever designed by a woman, all the initial programmers of ENIAC were women. So go to Django Girls, buy a Code Like a Girl t-shirt, and use it in the picture you're going to take with ENIAC. Find a new friend, somebody you don't know, and make the walk. Felicia Day gave a keynote here a couple years ago. You may know her from web series like The Guild, or TV shows like Supernatural and a bunch of other things that are out there. She was pretty psyched, and this got retweeted many times. I am working to try to get in touch with the curator of ENIAC. We've gone back and forth a couple times to find a time when he could actually open up the entire display so we could do some photo ops like this. So if you want a chance at that, keep an eye on my Twitter. It may be last minute. I'm twitter.com/flipperpa, flipper like the dolphin, PA like Pennsylvania, because I'm hoping to put that together to get a couple people some shots like this, which are really cool. You can actually see the vacuum tubes and everything it took to make 4 whole K of memory. If you need directions from here to there, it is incredibly complex. You are at 3730 Walnut Street. It is a 7-minute walk to 3300 Walnut Street, where you see the pin. You can walk down to 33rd Street, turn right, and the first entrance on 33rd Street on your right is the ENIAC display. There is a signpost outside on 33rd Street that says, ENIAC. So go see ENIAC if you get a chance. It's absolutely awesome. This is Paul Schaefer, the curator. He is not the guy from David Letterman. Also, at 37th and Ludlow, that is if you go down to 37th Street and turn left, there's a walkway in between Chestnut and Market, AKA on the way to Han Dynasty, where you can see the monument where in 2015 we inducted the original 6 women of ENIAC to our technology Walk of Fame here at Penn, which is a pretty big deal. This is one of my favorite spots on Penn's campus. And it was long overdue that we credited these 6 pioneering programmers with the honors they all deserved. So, lightning talks don't have to be 5 full minutes. Mine is not. Keep that in mind for the next time you give a lightning talk. You can do it in 30 seconds. I'm out. Thank you.